Hey, what's up, everybody? Back again on the Thursday night, and hopefully you are here too, ready to join us. Trying to get some different stuff set up on the computer, so it took a little bit longer than expected. But thanks for hanging in, folks. Hopefully you guys are feeling well out there. And of course, it is me, Rajay, here with another Beer Flow show, along with my riding buddies, Eric, a Lions fan. Make sure you check out his channel. Eric, if you want to pop something in the chat so they can find you by hitting those three dots to the right as well. And of course, Todd, our ride along buddy as well, doesn't have the channel as of yet, but we are still working on that. Of course, Todd is down in Indiana, Eric's up in Michigan, and we are one four horseman apocalypse rider away, which is Joe. So Joe is out doing whatever he's doing. As we all know, we don't know what Joe really does. Could be out there making a hit or something. He could be out there trying to solve some problem that he will never get the hero response for that he deserves for doing something to actually save us here on planet Earth. But who knows? Well, Joe is not here tonight. He may pop in later if we're still on as far as chat or something. You might see some comments from him. Or if we're still going a little bit later, he may get home in time after saving the world to actually join us. So tonight, we're kind of just we kicked back. We talked some different beer stuff. Last week we had the beer flows awards type thing. We talked about kind of some of the beers from last year, and then this is really, I guess, the first kind of official show for 2019, so to speak. Since last week was a catch-up show. So, what are you guys actually drinking tonight?
I am drinking something out of Detroit this time. It's from Brew Detroit. It's a red ale. This is called their Cornerman Red Ale. Comes in at 5.2% alcohol by volume. I think that's Joe Louis on the front of the can here, if you can see it.
Is that Joe Louis?
I don't.
I thought it was like Raging Bull, like it was a playoff of Raging Bull.
I honestly I don't know. I didn't have time to go to the website to see what the description was.
Good looking can though, either way.
Yeah, that's cool. I am drinking a 450 North Fresh Fruit Double Milkshake IPA infused with strawberry.
Must suck for Todd.
Come on, man.
Infused with strawberry and vanilla. Comes in at 8% ABV.
Oops.
And there's the can.
Nice. Give me a second here. I pop my camera out. Might have froze up on the screen. Get that back in there.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, I think am I stuck still? Let me see here. Let me fix that. Still not back yet.
Nope. Can hear you a bit.
All right.
Oh, come on.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Let me see. I'm going to reset this real quick, and hopefully I'm going to switch it to something different. Maybe that'll unkick it because Google doesn't like to work with people half the time.
There you go. Now you're back.
Tries to be difficult. Yeah, so I'm going to flip it back to this. Is this one still stuck?
Yeah, that one's still stuck. Yep.
Yep.
Let me see. I know what I need to do. Bear with me for a second.
Insert the Jeopardy theme music.
There we go. Now we're back. I just got to flip it, I think, because mine is actually backwards on my screen. Do that, man. Off to a rough start tonight. Woo, good thing the week is this week, coming this weekend. I think it's actually because I'm burning up right now. So I'm actually wearing the long sleeve. Oh, hey, what's going on?
Sorry.
The
I'm getting the phone to do get an Uber and a Lyft, blah, blah.
All right, let's get this baby under control right now. Okay, here we go. Now we're good. All right, so anyway, got that situated. And actually, tonight, I'm actually drinking one that goes out to the, I guess you can say, macro lovers, because everything in the cooler is pretty much a one-off type thing. And so my wife had like a 6-pack. She didn't want anymore, so I'm going to actually drink some of these Stellas here. So
Stella!
There you go.
Little bit of a Euro lager, which I've never done a review on the channel, and I actually recorded one. I just haven't uploaded it yet because I have 30 plus things in the backlog right now. So I will be having a Stella review up there shortly. I don't know why, because who hasn't had Stella? But I figure might as well just cross it off the list.
Do a live on Flow in the Beer Flow show.
24. You could do a 24-hour Rod J Beer Venture. Have one every hour. Ding, ding, ding.
And let's take a look here and see. See if there's any comments. Any comments out there? Pull up this thing.
Yeah, there's some comments out there.
Am I on the wrong station? Let me take a look here.
Is anybody out there?
I'm struggling right now. Give me one.
Let's see, if that was me, I'd be
There
giving
we
me
go.
2 times as shit.
Well, that's because it's you.
Understood.
So let's see here. My computer's going a little slow right now. Shouldn't be my computer. But if you want to hit the comments, if you see anything, Eric or Todd.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to give a shout out to Nicole P. Scorpio. Ethan's Beer Reviews is here with us.
Nice.
Welcome. The head coach.
Welcome, coach.
Craft Beer Pours and Eric Gilbert.
Welcome.
And that's all I see in the chat right here right now. But Craft Beer Pours says, cheers, Rod.
Cheers, Brandon.
Eric Gilbert says that wasn't Joe Louis on the cannon, and I asked him, I wasn't up on my boxers. I said, who is it? He goes, some white dude in the burbs trying to be a boxer.
I was a little more politically correct. Yeah, I think it's actually a playoff of Raging Bull that Robert De Niro played in the movie.
Gotcha. And then Eric Gilbert.
Joe was pretty light skinned, so I wasn't sure.
But Eric Gilbert's having a Wellington Imperial Stout and an Jesus. What the hell is that? Ardbeg 10 Sons?
Yeah, it's an Ardbeg 10. So that's it's not bad there.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Yeah, so I was actually thinking about having a little bit of whiskey. I've got like a couple of whiskeys here, but not sure I'm going to dip into those. And I actually get to start working a little bit later tomorrow, like at 10. So.
Oh, look.
But I got to work later if I start work later. So it's not like that's a win-win. And plus, now they're saying we're supposed to have the first snowmageddon of the season. They're expecting a bunch of snow coming in. So it's like you run to the store at some point tomorrow, but people will be going crazy, you know.
I don't know how. Go ahead, Todd. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, what are they expecting for you guys? We're supposed to get, I think, 2 to 4, 6 inches. Who knows?
I have not looked, to be honest.
What about you, Rod?
Well, here we're supposed to get like anywhere possibly from 3 to 6 in most places, although in some pockets, as they call them, we may get a little bit more. So they're saying the biggest snow we've had since 2015. So we didn't really get too much snow last year. The year before we had a couple things. So we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously they talk about it enough, nothing ever happens, because the one job you can always screw up at and keep it is being a weather person. So
yeah, right, exactly.
If they don't say anything, then you get pummeled. It's like, where were you at on this one? Where were you at now when this all happened? You weren't around then. Once they tell you to go out and get everything, nothing happens. You're like, seriously?
Yeah, so get your bread and milk today, because it'll all be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep. To me, it says like little to no snow, so I'm guessing maybe 1 to 2, if that. Probably gonna be dusting.
So you're supposed to get a bunch of snow where you're at. So
right now it says little to no snow.
Yeah. So it was funny here because Tuesday I went out at lunch to go to Kroger to get some food, and it was like 60 degrees here. And it was like, I was coming out like I needed this jacket and everything. I was like, oh shit, I would use a windbreaker, you know, if that even.
Yeah. Went
out yesterday to go to Kroger. I need to go back in and get the coat. God damn, it's like 25 degrees out here. It's like, you guys are
the beauty of the Ohio Valley.
Yeah. So today I had to go to the office. So I put on the Eddie Bauer sweater just in case because I know what was going to happen. But it's just crazy how much the weather is changing as quick as it is.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 65 here on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then yesterday was fine in the morning, and by the time I left work, it was cold.
Yeah. And Eric Gilbert says the Arberg is an Islay Peat Bomb Scotch, so nice Scotch whiskey. So I haven't had a good Scotch whiskey in a while. Need to drink some more of those. And then no other comments really out there since that one. So just kind of flip back. So I'm on this computer now, like my old setup, and they're making me switch to something else. I had 3 screens, so now I'm just on one. So it's kind of like my world's crumbling right now, getting back down. Because you get up to 3 screens, you get comfortable with it, and then you're all over the place. You're like Minority Report. I can go here, I can go here, I can go here. You start thinking if I can get 2 more, like I'm all over the place. And now you're back to 1, and you're like, it is what it is.
Going back in time.
Yeah, so with 1, I'm flipping back and forth and trying to pull up some stuff here. Some of the things happening out in the beer world, if you guys want to get into some of that, is taking place. And apparently, people are aware about people not coming back to traditional type beers. I don't know if you guys have seen some of this, but there was an article I saw written about it's okay for you to drink the old classic type craft beers. Like, what are you talking about? You can drink whatever you want to drink. And then I just saw another article this week where they had Sierra Nevada Pale Ale out there talking about a new flagship February campaign aims to save core beer brands. And I'm like, is Sierra Nevada in trouble somehow with their Pale Ale? I mean, it's still a solid beer, but there's a lot of beers that people are trying out there. And you never forget about the core stuff, but you're traveling, you're trying other stuff, you're getting involved with other stuff. So, I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are. If you're seeing some things like that, like, are people not going back to the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, or maybe it's some of the, well, I would say like some of the Samuel Adams stuff, but some of the people have kind of fallen out of favor, I think, with some of the Samuel Adams beers, because Samuel Adams has gotten to a point almost where it's almost like Stone, where they're not really impressing you with a lot of stuff. They're out there, but they're not really knocking back things. It's kind of like they're resting their laurels, so to speak. At least that's my feeling. I don't know what you guys think about some of the stuff you're seeing from them.
I think that maybe Sam Adams is going to or not the traditional, excuse me. They're going to the transitional craft beer drinker. Like they're getting them into it. Like for me, mine was the Boston Lager, and then I went to the IPA. What is it? The Rebel Rouser? Is that right?
Right, Rebel Rouser. Right.
Yeah, and then there was that, and then the Cherry Wheat, and then which I didn't really care for. But then after that, I started kind of branching out to the other stuff that comes on. And you guys know me. I'll drink a macro I'll drink the lowest macro to the highest craft beer. So I'm anywhere in between on the beer spectrum. But to get to your point, Rod, I wonder if people are just even though they're like Sierra Nevada, their pale ales look solid. I just wonder if I don't know really how to say this, but just to say it is, they're forgetting about the core brands, like you said, because there's so much stuff to try and to see how their palate takes to it, that they're maybe forgetting about some of the core stuff.
I'm almost wondering if a lot of them just aren't dropping the pale ale in general. I just saw an article here locally for Flat 12, which is a brewery out of Indianapolis. They also have a satellite brewery, I guess you would call it, here, 10 miles from my house in southern Indiana, in Jeffersonville, and they're dropping their Walkabout Pale Ale, which is an American pale ale, and that was one of their flagship kind of beers per se. One of their 4 or 5 main core beers, and they're doing away with it.
Right.
So I don't know if just maybe that style in general of the pale ale is kind of falling by the wayside, or some of these breweries, like Sam Adams to me is kind of a stepping stone brewery, is where, you can buy the big mix packs at like Sam's Club, or where, during Christmas you can get the multi packs or whatever. And, they do some decent stuff, but it's nothing really over the top,
Right.
And I think in Sierra Nevada, I think is a lot better than them, but they may be kind of falling in that track too a little bit as well.
Yeah, they definitely could be. And I was trying to pull up here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I was trying to get the chat on screen as well. So figured that might be good to have and easy to have there. Trying to move it up. And welcome to Steven's here from Eclipse. So evening. He says good evening, guys, as well. So welcome aboard. And Steven had been sending those beers. I did the one on the show we did a couple weeks ago, that banana hammock, and then the Patrick Hazy cider one. And I saw some of the other people were checking it out. I know Craft Beer Pours, Brandon, he checked it out. And I had just saw Diva Beer Reviews check it out as well. So definitely appreciate that. And a solid, decent beer, too.
Which one is that again, Rap?
He did the banana hammock homebrew.
Oh, okay. All
yeah.
right.
And then he did the Patrick Hazy. It was a hazy hopped cider, which was something a little different. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
That would be different, a hop cider. I don't think I've ever had a hop cider.
Yeah, it was really nice. So see if that all looked good on the screen there. Yeah, okay. I think it was in front of me. It was cutting me down a little bit, but if I squeeze it down too much, I can't get all the chat there. So this is definitely a work in progress. But I'm trying to move up things so we see a little bit more of our stuff. But yeah, that was one of the things with the Sierra Nevada situation, with them kind of talking about them. And I guess there's some other ones out there too that are kind of feeling a pinch because, people are jumping around. But we talked about it before. It's kind of a situation where people are doing more within kind of their community. And that's why you see some of the craft breweries tend to struggle, I think. It's because they're coming into other people's areas and people want to do more with their own community breweries now. So, even if you come in as a core brand, you may not have the loyalty that you used to have from some of the people that are there.
I wonder if some of the breweries are kind of their own worst enemy because they're putting out so many new beers that they're not giving their core stuff the proper maybe visibility, or maybe that it needs, or maybe visibility is the wrong word, but maybe marketing, or I guess whatever the term needs to be.
Well, I think in general, everybody's always looking for that new flavor of the month type thing, where everybody wants, and I'm guilty of it too, where when you go to your local bottle shop or whatnot, you're looking for something that you haven't had. And I think a lot of the older kind of mainstay beers kind of get left behind.
Yeah.
Not that it's a bad thing. They just, everybody's just wanting something that they've never tried before. And that's kind of the fault of the craft beer world, I think. There's so much offering out there that it's like, why buy something twice if you can get something that you've never had before?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think you gotta account for that to come into play as well. And people are fickle, so people are trying different things, and I still think people come back to some of the core type stuff. It's all about positioning. If you're in a place and you're unsure about maybe the craft beers they have in there, and you see like a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, you can rely on it, so you'll probably get it at that point. So.
Especially if you're at a restaurant or something, where there's limited limited options of what you can get, then you might, go to something that you're gonna like.
Yeah.
Or at least know that's, something halfway decent.
Yeah. And that could be part of it too with some of the breweries to look at how they're positioning some of their beers. If you're going to be in a place like an Applebee's, for instance, and if you can get Sierra Nevada like Pale Ale on one of the taps versus, Budweiser or Miller, Coors, any of the big guys, Sam Adams as well, people are going to say, well, I can rely on that as a good craft beer too. And so you might stand out a little bit more than if you're putting it against the latest stouts or latest pale ales or latest IPAs that actually come out. So it might be a criteria that breweries may want to do is actually focus in on where do you best apply and where is your best market, and then they can benefit from it so that they're in the right position. They can take advantage of the situation at hand.
But then you have
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, if I was like, for instance, if it was something like, say, Core was like left hand, they were struggling with their, not Core, but say like a stout going against, well, say Core left hand and their stouts, like their core type thing, you're going to perform well versus a lot of other stouts versus if you might be left hand, Dragon's Milk, and then you throw in a Guinness. Guinness may not perform as well as the other ones for true, kind of more craft beer type drinkers because what they're going to get with the other stouts. So you got to know where you're positioned at. You take that same Guinness stout, you put in a situation wrapped around other things like some of the macros, it's going to stand out more. Or versus
Right,
no
yeah.
name stouts that people are like, well, I don't want to risk that, take drinking that one.
True. Yeah, true.
Yeah. But which I've noticed a lot more places now. If you're unsure, they seem more apt to give you a taste of the beer ahead of time, which is nice. So that's pretty good customer service, you know. And the head coach says that's exactly it. You hit on the head. Small breweries are their own worst enemy. So, yeah. But it's a competitive field out there.
And then you wonder, like guys like 450 North, or even like the other half, who seems to be making beers, 3 or 4, 5 can releases every couple weeks, and it's just brewery only type thing. Is like, maybe are they ahead of the curve? Because people stand in line for those for days, but some of like 450 North's mainstays that they kind of put out on a regular basis,
Right.
they're on the shelves all the time. Nobody really cares, but you guys have seen pictures of stuff that I've sent to you all and see the lines on release day, for all the stuff that's coming out, and you may not see it again for a few months of that same type of beer or whatnot. And then,
Yeah.
maybe they're onto something, I guess, maybe a little bit, and keeping everybody's interest and of what's new coming out. I don't know.
Yeah. Definitely agree with that as well.
Well, speaking of 450 North, they've got another 6-can release coming up next Friday. Not tomorrow, but next week. It's like they just come out with one 3 weeks ago. I mean,
well, they've done well tapping into a niche kind of play for them, is what I'll say it is. They've found a market that does like to rotate a lot of those beers in to actually want new things. You know what I mean? So they're able to make beers. They're almost like them, like Joe with Other Half, some of these other places that are kind of smaller type breweries have started to realize, hey, we can make these type of sizes with our clientele. They like the quick shift that we're doing, and they're becoming identified like that. So they're always coming out with releases, and it fits them versus some of the other breweries that are making larger batches of stuff. So even here, Braxton is having some good success with Braxton Labs, which is doing a small batch process, and they're coming out with new releases every few weeks or so, it seems, as well. So there's something to that if you can afford to do it that way. It's also a risk, right? Because if you're doing these small type things that people don't turn out, you might lose a batch or a couple batches by doing it that way. But 450 North, I don't know if they're using like test markets, like getting groups in there to kind of taste stuff and kind of they've got a good pulse on what the people want for sure. I mean, all the 450 North that you sent, at least I got, Todd, I was pretty much impressed with it all and really liked it. And I still got some left to actually go through, but
I think I've got 2 left.
Tasty, yeah. But it's like with 450 North, you're almost like when you start realizing you only got a couple left, like, I want to hold off before I try that one. I want to hold off before I try that one, because it is really that good. I mean, like I said, they may sprinkle crack into it. I don't know.
We can only hope.
Yeah. Staying in my living room like Tyrone Biggums, like, you want a 450 North?
Like the Dave Chappelle meme, scratching with the stuff around his mouth. You got any more of that, whatever you want to. 450 North.
450 North.
Popping in and out of liquor stores, asking a guy. but they found a market that actually works for them, and they've actually done well to take what they can with it. Like you said before, they weren't really pumping out as much of the stuff, or they weren't seen as really as good brewery as they are now. Just a year or two ago, whenever it was, and they've been able to remarket themselves and find what actually worked for them.
Yeah, and I mean, if people are standing in line every couple 2 or 3 weeks, then why not keep doing what's working.
Yeah, definitely.
Seems like everybody wants what they can't have or what's limited.
Yeah. Everybody wants some. You want some too. Yeah. So, Crankbait Crisis, welcome. Cheers. Thanks for joining. Congratulations on hitting the 600 mark. I know I'm doing fine. I think these guys are doing fine. Hopefully you are as well. Kind of kicking back and drinking some beer. And then welcome Miles for Days. Hello, hello. And welcome Trish. Good to see you again here. And I think everybody else is just exchanging pleasantries. And much as I do drink a lot of the craft type beer, and Eric, you probably tested it. There's nothing wrong with kicking back with something like one of the macros. I mean, it's a nice Euro lager with Stella. I mean, it does what it does, and traditional. I mean, how long has it been in business? Right, it's been in business for a long time. So they know what they're doing with it, and of course, you see right there is Belgium. So I'm never going to hate on a Belgian beer. But that is a very good one there. And so let's see here. The next thing, take a look at. I had another piece pulled up here. Oh, so Platform Brewery, one of the breweries I've actually come to really appreciate and really admire last year. They're set to open up new tap room. So you guys know from me telling you that we're getting one here in Cincinnati, which according to this was supposed to open the week of January 28th, but I have not been to where it's at over in the OTR area. So if that is open, that is definitely going to be a stop here soon. And they're actually planning to open another room in their sour beer facility in Cleveland, dubbed the Funkin' Ship, and that's coming the spring of 2019. So looking forward to seeing what they may be doing up there as well. And then the third one, they list that here. Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh's going to get a third one as well. So that's where Bum's at. Bum's out in the Pittsburgh area, so he'll be getting some platform beer in his backyard. And doesn't give, let me see, I don't think it gives a date on this one. Doesn't give a date, but the one here in Cincinnati is going to also be a hybrid coffee shop, which is pretty cool. Just on the boss. I'm going to get some coffee. Wink, wink. Coffee. Wink, wink. Yeah. So that'd be some good things. And speaking of coffee beer, on my Facebook page this week, and I think in the Beer Coalition I may have posted as well, Mantry, it launched a coffee beer this week. So I'm looking forward to checking that one out. And Todd gets the Mantry beer. I think I sent Mantry to you, Eric, as well, too, in the past. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they've got some pretty good beers, and they're one of my top 3 here in Cincinnati. So looking forward to see what they do with the coffee beer as well.
Hey, Rod, speaking of platform, I seen somebody posted one from them. It's called EMO. It's a barrel-aged s'mores imperial stout. Have you seen that one?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Haven't either.
I gotta check.
We get some. Well, I can get it in Louisville anyway. Platform.
Yeah.
Obviously, but I might have to try to see if I can't hunt that one down. That sounds pretty good.
You're not going to go wrong very much with the platform beers from what I've had so far. So they've all been pretty decent. I haven't done the one I just sent to you guys, and I know Eric's not a huge sour person, but you liked it enough, I think, that to enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to tasting that one too, because that was a Goza that was set up there, I believe.
Yeah, that one was, yes.
And if you haven't seen it, make sure you check out Eric and Lions Fans channel and see what he did on the review on that one, along with the other reviews on stuff too. And if you haven't subscribed to any of the guys out here, you got Craft Beer Pours, you got Eric and Lions Fan, you got Crankbait Crisis, you've got who else we have here?
Eclipse Brewing.
We had Trish. Trish is one sip at a time. I was trying to think which one Trish had, because Trish is always popping up either on hers or Brandon's. But to the right of the chat, you'll see like 3 dots, and you can actually click on these 3 dots, and it'll pull up where you can go to the channel and give them a quick sub and check out some of their stuff as well. So if you want to spread some love there, feel free to do so. And also, speaking of that, if you like what you see tonight, always remember to hit that like button, because apparently YouTube likes that. So it actually moves the stuff up so it gets shared a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And of course, if you haven't subscribed here, make sure you subscribe too. And hit that bell as well, so that you're updated on some of the different notifications. So it's funny. I did the upload last night, which was the one that Joe sent from Fifth Frame, and that was this is lickable wallpapers or like that, everything. So I didn't respond to his comment because I called it just double IP with gooseberries. And he's like, "Oh yeah, but it's lickable." Like, look, you want the name out there, put the name on the can. There was no name on the can, so at this point, it's just beer in a can, as far as I'm concerned. so, which I didn't understand. How, I mean, I know they're like kind of a smaller brewery, but how do you not put the name of the beer on your can?
It wasn't on the can anywhere?
No, because he told me, and I think did he tell you too, Eric, when you did it?
About
the Fifth Frame, what the name of it was? No, did you have that one or did somebody else have that one? Kyle did. No hype reviews had it. He sent one to Kyle. And Kyle didn't, he told me, like, I didn't know what it was either. So Joe told him. I'm like, I mean, you're new, but at least have that on. I mean, obviously we want the ABV, we want the date if we can get it, but you got to have a name.
Oh yeah, you got to have a name. You got to.
So yeah, but that was a nice, tasty IPA. There, I think. Like, no, was that one an IPA? No, that was
sour
double IPA. That was double IPA with the
okay.
It had the gooseberries is what they were. So, and the other thing too is, let me see here. There was the one thing that came out, and I'm not going to get a lot into it or whatever, but there's been a lot of stories popping up in the media about the whole government shutdown and everything, and the wall, and now it's affecting beer, or it could affect beer. That's when shit gets crazy. You start messing with the beer, we're gonna have issues. We're gonna have issues, right? So, and one of the forums I was in here in Cincinnati posted a story out there, put some stuff on the Facebook page, shared some stuff on Twitter. There's some stuff on it on LinkedIn. There's some talk. I mean, it's almost like for these breweries, and when they're doing the beers, they have to get these labels signed off by the government and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of, some of the areas are closed down. There's some things saying in some states you can kind of do it under certain labels if you're not transporting, with some you have to do it if you're going out of state. And there's some stuff where people say, well, if it's kegs, you don't. But then some people say, you do have to do kegs because that's still registered. So it'll be kind of interesting going forward. I don't think anybody's at a full crunch now, but I have spoken to a few people that say they do feel a little bit more of a delay on getting it. And so what that may mean is, depending on how long this thing goes, the core brands don't have to worry that we talked about earlier, because they won't be able to release new releases of stuff until they can get these labels approved and get this other stuff done, unless you go to a brewery and they have it on tap. So if you got growlers, you may want to hold on to them, because depending on how things play out, you may have to growler some beer out of there, or crowler if you have that. They have that at their breweries and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. But you start messing with the beer, things going to get a little crazy. So
it wasn't just a label thing, though, was it? Wasn't it like if it was a new formula or a new formula?
Labeling was a big part of it, but there's also the registering. So if it's a new type beer, you couldn't get it registered with the, I guess, formulas and stuff you're using, or how you're producing a new beer. Even if it's like in keg batches, it has to be registered a certain way. So all of that kind of goes in there. Basically, new beers were going to be held back from it. So right now they were talking, one of their breweries was hoping it would get done in time, like Braxton here locally, because they have their summer series that'll be upcoming in a few months, and they want to make sure they're going to be in good shape with it as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out, and how that takes place, and then go from there. So it'll be interesting to see, but it's something we'll deal with. I mean, that's why some of us homebrew. If things get bad, we'll just start brewing it ourselves, and we'll get what we want by homebrew.
Even if your beer explodes with having 2 carbonation tablets in it.
Exactly. You can make more.
Yep, you can always make more.
That's why I said, if you ever get stuck on a stranded island, it's like, hey, I know how to make beer. So you're pretty safe. You know how to make beer. Yeah. As long as you know the basic, you can always MacGyver something together. So let me see here. What other beer? I'm trying to think of what other beer. Anything beer news you guys seen out there at all? Anything that came across any of the information you were looking at or reading, or?
No, not me. Not me. I'll go over to Todd.
No, just kind of what you already pointed or hit on just a minute ago, Rod. Most
Yeah.
of the things I've seen lately has been with the government shutdown and the new beers coming out.
Yeah. And if anybody watching, if you guys are on Facebook, which pretty much everybody pretty much is now, whether you want to or not, it's almost like a necessity of life because everybody's connected through there. You'll always feel free to, because we have a group out there called the Beer Coalition that you can actually join, and we share a lot of the beer things that are happening. And there's various beer reviewers, there's some brewers in the group, there's some different people that provide different perspectives. Some are just beer fans. So it's a nice group if you ever want to find out some details around beer and some of the beer type happenings. California, down where Earth is. Earth's out in California, Southern California. Their first THC infused alcohol free beer has launched in San Diego. So, if you like the cannabis, if you like the weed, if you like the the sticky icky, you've actually got your first THC infused alcohol free craft beer now available from High Style Brewing Company. Good play on the name, fellas. High Style. I got you. So
alcohol free, huh?
Yeah, alcohol free. The company introduced their inaugural beer called Pale Haze on New Year's Eve 2018 at March and Ash Dispensary in Mission Valley. So that's one of the things when I was talking with Lagunitas when I went to Chicago in September. They have their stuff. They can't even keep it on shelves. Their THC infused water they have out there, but it's all sold through dispensaries. So if somebody's out in San Diego and has one of those dispensary cards, call on Earth. You might want to check this out. It might be something to see what you think about it. Each 12-ounce bottle is infused with 10 milligrams of THC and is a non-alcoholic drink. Although it may contain trace amounts of alcohol like all products of its kind, it only has 50 calories per bottle compared to most American pale ales, which can have 3 to 4 times that. So not only are you getting a little bit of the wacky, but you're also taking in less calories. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying you got to go out there and try that and get your little weed on. I'm just saying, if you're looking to cut calories and you want something different, maybe you don't want that hangover type feel, you want to enjoy some of this and see what it's like. If you got a dispensary card or a buddy has a dispensary card, might be able to check that out in Cali. So that has actually launched.
So is that a water? Is that what you said? It was a water?
Yeah, that one. This one, I know the one that Lagunitas did was this one here. Let me go back and take a look at it because there's not any alcohol really in it. So I don't know if they kind of did the same thing. They said it's a pale haze, described as a flavor-forward hazy pale ale made with Amarillo and Cascade hops, and it's the first THC-infused alcohol-free craft beer.
So it's a near beer with weed in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, they got to be using something to get it actually the beer name versus like Lagunitas, who has it as the water. But I'll pull it up here. See if I can. File. Where's this here? I tell you what, after going back to just one screen, it's a little crazy. Well, I can't do it now because it's on a different thing. Anyway, yeah, so kind of an interesting thing there. And, what I'll do is I'll put the link in the chat if anybody wants to check that out, actually. I don't really do that as much. We should do that a little bit more, put stuff in the chat.
So you can,
so people can check out the link. So that should pop up there. Of course, if you're not in California, you're like, that sucks. And let's see. And then I'm going to go back here. My thing wasn't scrolling with me. So let's take a look here. On the 10th in the house, welcome, Chris. Appreciate it, brother. And nice seeing you kick Redbeard's ass in racing last night. Redbeard, you're here too. Hey, Redbeard. No, they were actually I'm sorry, it wasn't Chris. It was Nick that beat Redbeard in racing. So, but it was funny to watch. I was actually doing something else and I was kind of watching it. Redbeard was almost catching up and he hit a car. So it was like Need for Speed Pursuit they were playing. Which is pretty interesting. But yeah, I missed a few of these comments because my thing wasn't scrolling. So let me see here. Crankbait spreading some of the love for support, people sharing different things there. A head coach, and I'm sorry, head coach, I missed this back there before. He said he will never understand the sour movement. So, what is that noise? Is that banging of a can?
Oh.
Yeah,
Shannon was...
Come on, Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon, come on.
Quiet on the set.
I give him a shit. Clanking a can around.
Head coach said he would never understand the sour movement. So, I mean, it's not all for everything. I mean, I like sour beers, but, I know Eric's not.
Shannon, what the hell?
Don't make me mute Todd.
Yeah, maybe.
But I know Eric's not a huge sours type person. You'll drink it here and there, but
yeah, I'll drink it here and there. But I kind of like it, like very little sour, not like all up in your face sour.
Yeah, and you go with your palate, and your palate may not enjoy it, so that's always good too. Crankbait said he understood. He said he got Coach. Does Coach have a channel? Coach doesn't have a channel, does he? Or does he just say I got you on the sours? I don't know. And okay, Crankbait had to leave, so thanks Crankbait for swinging by. Appreciate it. Let's see here, and then scrolling back here, and of course Red had his Weppy going down when he came in, and Miles for Days said, "Oh no." So yeah, there was something I saw in here. Oh yeah, Eric Gilbert said, "Don't be messing with my booze." Well, Eric, you're in Canada, so you're not dealing with it here in the U.S. like we are. So, well, you got your LCBO type stuff up there that you guys talk about. Yes, Red Beard, I do have the OBS. Although I'm doing the regular OBS, I do have the Streamlabs OBS, but I have not got that coordinated yet. And that actually gives me more stuff that I can put into it rather than just the OBS. So, just kind of learning myself. You taught me. You opened the door, and I'm going through it, Redbeard. You led me into it. Let's see here. TQ Murray in the house. What's up? Says any unapproved labels, including names of ABVs, have to be approved by TTB before selling legally. Head coach says, trust me, the beer industry is such a moneymaker, and our politicians all drink beer. Everything will be okay. I don't know. I mean, our president, doesn't drink alcohol. He's never drank alcohol, he said. So for him, it's like the people can't drink. Like he'll see what the big deal is, I'm sure. So we'll see what happens. Crankbait says, if you don't mind on 10th, please. TQ says, everything won't be okay, coach. And then hey, coach says, I promise we were fine after Y2K. God, remember all the concerns around Y2K when that happened? That was crazy.
Yeah.
And then nothing happened. It was like, that sucked. Nothing. One sip at a time. I think these brutes are the popular thing at the moment. Yeah, the brutes, they may have a big play coming here into 2019. They're definitely being picked up a little bit more. But the New England style IPA is still running pretty heavy. I see breweries I didn't think were going to try it are now trying it. It'll be interesting to see how many more do it. And I'm also seeing more breweries come out with ciders now. So ciders might come into play as well. So we'll see how that happens. Let me see here. Trish said our local store has like 6 new now. Okay, so 6 of the new brutes. Eric Gilbert's a puff puff give. And then head coach was asking about brutes ? And Trish says champagne style beers. Yeah, so when you think of the brewed IPA, you're thinking of a IPA that's got more of an effervescent type feel to it, kind of that champagne type mix, more of a dryness as well, as if it could get more dry. It can when you do the champagne and the brute style.
That seems to be the new flavor. Seems like a lot of people are coming out with those now.
Yeah, but when I went to that one brewery up in Toledo, Black Cloister, I did their brute, and it wasn't as dry as I was expecting. Now, I've had other ones that were drier, but they had a nice little feel on theirs as well. Had the dryness, but it wasn't overly dry. So, when you think of champagne,
Gotcha.
you have stuff that's extra dry, and then stuff just dry, and they were kind of more to just to dry, but it was more pleasant, I thought, when I had that one. And then head coach thanked her for breaking it down for him. Eric Gilbert says, time to pair some weed, beer, and buds. So some weed beer. Hey, ASAP Fishing One, thank you. He says he's new to the channel. Much appreciated. Hope you're enjoying yourself, and then chat away in the comments here as well. And of course, if you hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And a lot of good people in here got their YouTube channel, so I encourage you to check them out as well. Off the 10th was funny at AF. Yeah, so I said on the 10th earlier, but it's Chris's off the 10th now because he's off the 10th floor. So he started in the basement, then he was on the 10th. Now he's off the 10th. TQ was drinking a Kunin BA40 currently. I haven't heard of that one before. And then Red Beer, my race comment said, damn the race to hell, LOL. So the funny thing was when Red Beer was losing to Nick in the race or lost the race, we were teasing him because he was like saying, well, this and he's like, you know how you lose in a game, like you have the excuses start coming out. So that even made it more funny when that happened. And ASAP Fishing West says, I'm going to check y'all out. So we definitely appreciate that. Eric Gilbert's, I'm in Ontario, so I can get full alcohol, weed, beers, and weed. Eric Gilbert, nobody likes a braggart. Just going to put that out there right now. You don't got to rub in everybody else's face because you're up in Canada and you can get all that stuff now that we can't. But hey, hey, Coach No Channel, Basement Beer, what's going on? Jamie says, what's up, fellas? Cheers. TQ says he has not gotten into the brute yet. So he says, it's not my thing, I guess. And it may be something you'll try later on. Maybe you'll pick up something you like. I mean, there's some things you do, like you may try certain styles. And for some of the early barley wines, I wasn't fully into up front. But then I found some I did like, and it got me more finding other ones I like. So it just depends. And it takes a period of time. And ASAP Fisher 1 picked up Eric and got him on the channel.
Thank you, brother.
Mary. He says Eric Blunt is a bum. So did you guys get LeGarrette Blunt now in Detroit?
Well, we had him last year, but he was probably going to get cut because he was only on a 1-year deal.
Gotcha. Well, TQ's in the cut of him corner.
Well, not cut, but not renewing his contract.
And the Red Beard says burn the Streamlabs version. He hates that. So he's not a big fan of Streamlabs OBS. He was a turd, the worst, and talking about Blunt. Red Beard says just integrate Streamlabs to regular OPS, way more customizable option. Well, I may have to catch up with you on that, see how you did on your system, because I know you got some different stuff with the chat feeds and stuff too. So Eric, good point. Do a tutorial, Red Beard. Red Beard, that would be an excellent video for you to do on your channel. A tutorial about how to use OBS, maybe some of the shortcuts. So that'd be a great idea. And if you haven't checked out Red Beard's channel, check him out. Again, he does beer reviews and he does video games and he does some other stuff. He's actually, him and Marshall was playing Magic the other day. I'd never seen people play Magic online on YouTube before. They were playing Magic. So you get all kinds of stuff on Red Beard's channel. And seriously, Red Beard, I do have a lot of Magic cards I need to do something with, so I may at some point just send them to you if they're still good. Red Beard says there are already far too many out there, but it's not them giving a story like you, Red Beard. It's not their presentation; it's your presentation. With your animation style and how you jump around the screen, you probably get some people to watch your video. Let me see here. TQ says buy a better laptop to Red Beard. Red Beard's eating some chili. Tasty. Did you make beer chili? That's what I like to do, make a little beer chili. And then Eric says next beer, KBS Dogfish Vanilla Worldwide Stout or Avery Uncle Johnson. Have you done a video on Worldwide Stout yet, Eric?
I have not. Ooh, I'm thinking about saving that one though.
Yeah, I mean you can always get KBS.
Yeah.
Can you always get Uncle John's?
But that's a 750 milliliters there, brother.
It's only Thursday night. You be good to go. You just got to crawl through Friday, and you're in good shape.
It's Friday. I ain't got no job.
What's the ABV on Avery Uncle John Stout?
15.3, I think.
Oh, my Rumpkin's like 18.
I think the worldwide's like 20 plus.
Yeah. Excuse me while I pour another beer.
Is the worldwide that high? I didn't think it was that high.
It's pretty high.
Is it? I didn't
Not high
realize
as a
that,
THC beer, but it's high.
Or I may just go to the fridge and just get me a Keystone Light.
You can go to the fridge and be like, come on, guys. Let's see what's in the fridge.
Do what you got to do.
Yep, you do what you got to do.
Oh, let's see here. He says, TQ says I could beat Redbeard in a race, real life, or in a video game anytime.
Shannon, what the hell?
What is Shannon doing?
What the hell is she doing?
Sorry. I was putting my glass out.
And Redbeard says, never. Eric says Worldwide Stout will put you to. TQ says Eric Worldwide Stout will put you to sleep.
It will.
Agreed with him. So Eric says, Gilbert says, you got to brag sometimes, especially when Doug Ford is a premier. It makes me feel better about that buck of beer. Let's see. TQ says, Coonan Barrel Age, Fourth Dimension Old Ale, Baller Brew. So good. I do like a nice old ale. KBS, and you guys have Theo Riddick. He needs to go small. We was decent 2 years ago. So I guess, you guys still have Theo Riddick there, I guess.
Yeah, he's kind of our wide receiver in the slot and does some running back stuff and catches out of the backfield.
He's almost like a hybrid player, right? At this point.
Yeah.
I remember him doing different stuff a few years ago. TQ says he was misused this year. Not sure what the deal was, which head coach agreed. And Eric Gilbert says, hammer the Keystone, son.
I've been really looking for, and it's kind of a diamond in the rough, except for Colorado, is just Keystone, the regular Keystone.
I didn't know they made the regular Keystone really as much. I always see Keystone Light when I see it.
Yeah, I think the regular Keystones that you can get it in Colorado, because obviously Coors is out of Colorado.
Yeah.
So should be able to get it there. And
Lee Russell's in the house. He says somewhere in the fridge is the thousands of subs Greg bought back in the day. Then cheers, Lee. Redbeard says, and welcome, Lee, as well. Riddick should have been the Tate backfill, is what TQ says, but never played slot, it seemed like. So it seems like they had a misappropriation of his skills. His skills, son. Right.
Is Greg even still on YouTube anymore?
As far as I know, he was last I saw.
What is he at? Like 3,200 beers or something? Or
it's got to be huge. He's been doing it for how long now? I wonder how many beers Darwin has done. Darwin's done a lot of beers too.
Yeah, Darwin has. Yeah. Massive's done quite. Massive has.
Yeah, Matt has. Yeah.
Craft Beer Nation. Can't even. Is it Craft Beer Nation or Beer Geek Nation?
Beer Geek. Chris, I think he's not even doing it anymore. I think he stopped.
Did he got burned out or something, was it?
Yeah, when he did his Lonely at the Top video, I think he got hit from some people there, and I think he might have burned out at the same time and just kind of rode off into the sunset.
Yeah, I know a couple people weren't happy with him when he did that.
Yeah,
deservingly so too. I think.
You slap your own self on the back. You're like, what is up with that?
Yeah.
And welcome, Tim. Cheers. And Eric Gilbert said he's sipping on a Tailsker 10 now. So, let me see. So, what else do we have?
I'm going to go get a KBS, so I'll be back.
All right. Yeah, so there's another piece out there. Craft beer industry feeling a pinch during a partial shutdown. That's another one there. There's a thing here. Let's take a look here. So Bloomberg came out with a piece that they did the 11 best beers of the year, talking about 2018. Let's see what they had on their list.
The 11 best beers?
Yeah.
It's kind of an odd list, 11.
Which craft beer is doing well. Is catching eye of Bloomberg to do a piece on them.
Right.
Yeah, let me see. Scroll down.
Oh yeah, baby. The highly acclaimed
KBS.
KBS, baby.
Is that the bomber size, Eric?
Yeah, it's 750, I think.
Damn.
Gonna get fucked up.
You say good tonight.
You dropped a bomb on me.
Sorry. Now I'll probably get demonetized. Sorry.
TQ says, "Why isn't Joe here? He keeps texting me. Must be hammered." Head coach said he's proud of you, Eric. So on this Bloomberg list they had, and this is actually one beer I didn't get to try that I did want to take a look at. One is the Sweetwater 420 strain G13. That's an American IPA, 6% ABV. They had Drake's Brewing and their Brightside Extra Brute, as Trish may mention to with some of the Brute stuff taking place. Sierra Nevada Celebration, that was on the list, and that's always like a solid beer anyway. Austin Beer Works Flavor Country, Grim Artisanal Ales, Castling was on the list, which is another IPA, but it's a Belgian style IPA. Then they had Lager, they had Ardent Bruins Pilsner, who's out of Richmond, Virginia. They had Three People Power out of New York, which is a Pilsner, and Wayfinder Terrifico out of Portland, Oregon. Italian style Pilsner. I didn't even know there was an Italian style Pilsner. I mean, they're just throwing names out there nowadays.
Just add a label to it.
Yeah. Then they have a category called the funky stuff. Holy Mountain Vesper, a table beer at 3.9% ABV out of Seattle. Fermentary Formation out of Philadelphia. Oak Age Golden Ale, 5% ABV. So that was, I think, the Nightcap. Then they have Firestone Walker and Creature Comforts Mother's Milk. Ooh, Imperial Milk Porter, 11.6% ABV. I do want to get some Firestone. I have not had Firestone for whatever reason. It's been hard for me to actually capture. But those were the ones they had in their top 11 out of 2018, which, as we know, you've actually had. So if you haven't had other stuff, hard to say you're listed the best. You have to have every beer to actually know.
Roger, you haven't had Firestone at all? Any of them?
They're hard to get around here.
I don't think I have either, Todd.
Have you not? Okay.
Because what's their flagship one? A Parabola, I believe. I haven't been able to find that anywhere. You get them in Indiana?
Yeah, we do now. Yep.
Okay. Because I'm on that border of Indiana too. I may have to run over to Lawrenceburg.
Are they not
see
in
if they have them?
Kentucky?
Not that I've ever seen.
Okay.
I mean, I could ask J.O., who has a party source, see if he's getting it in there.
Well, the Parabola, I think, is, unless I'm thinking of something else, I think that's just a special one-time-a-year beer.
Yeah.
I believe.
I know that gets a lot of kudos out there, it seems, so be interesting to check out. And what is it?
Well, that might have to be the next beer mill. Some beers in the next beer mill. Then I thought you got them, Rod. Eric, I wasn't sure about. But
I haven't seen them here, Todd. At least in my area, I haven't seen them. Maybe outside of it, they have.
I think Joe gets them where he's at. I think
Joe probably does where he's at.
Crazy game of distribution.
Yeah.
But there's so many beers here now, Todd. If they do have it here, it probably gets lost. I mean, there's a
yeah. I mean, honestly, I was stoked when they first announced that they were, getting distro here, and I honestly haven't even went out to get much of any of it except for some of their, specialty bottles that they put in a little box or whatever. That's vintage, from year to year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then looking here at the comments. What was that? Oh, yeah. So TQ was like, oh, shit, son, KBS Bomber. He wants you to chug it.
No.
Chug.
Shannon says, "Sorry for the sound effect, boys. I try real hard to be quiet and graceful, but somehow I always fall short." LOL. Eric said, "It's all good, Shannon." Head coach says, "It's your house. Make more noise, Shannon." Head coach, Shannon does not need encouragement.
Come on, head coach. Yeah, no, don't do that.
And then TQ says, "Holy Mountain is my favorite place in the PNW, but super hipster. Sour saisons, multi, dark stuff, all excellent. Can't comment on their hoppy stuff." So if you ever go to Seattle, I got recommendations. Amazing beer city. So TQ's actually familiar there with the tastings from that brewery.
TQ, I was just in Seattle last month. I should have got with you, so you could have said for what breweries you could have sent me to.
Yeah. Well, here's your thing. You're going to Mexico. Anybody got any good ideas for Mexico City?
I might not be going out because of the cartel out there, man.
Don't be scared.
A fat American out there, they'll be like, he's ripe for the picking, boys.
Very scared. Don't be scared, cartel.
If you're scared, say you're scared. I'm scared.
But you might find some craft breweries down there. Hell, you might come across. There might be a place for Malavita. You can get some of those, maybe.
Oh.
But
that brandy. Oh, baby, that brandy. That was awesome.
Eric has dreams of that every night.
I do have dreams of that every night.
He really enjoyed the brandy barrel. He enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was outstanding. That was, Oh my God.
Yeah, and see, Steve, if you didn't know, like Steven Eclipse Brewing, he's Seattle as well, so he could have hooked you up with some spots too. And he says like new ones opening all the time. Same like here, we're getting new stuff too, but Seattle's getting a ton. Cheers, Tim. Welcome, brother. But is there like any beer cities you like to hit this year, you guys, or anything you try to
Chicago.
You've been to Chicago before, though, right?
I've been to Chicago, but I've never been to any breweries in Chicago.
Or if you go to Lagunitas, let me know, and I'll get you hooked up there.
Hopefully Lagunitas, I'm hoping to hit Revolution, hoping to hit Goose Island. Even though they're AB InBev, I still want to go to the Goose Island place. I'm sure there's tons there that even the real micro ones you don't really know about.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back to Asheville where I get a little more time. I went about a little over a year ago, but it was just to stop through, went to Wicked Weed, had lunch, had a couple beers, but I didn't get to go tour the strip there that they have like a bazillion breweries kind of on like one main road kind of like. So I'd like to go back to Asheville and try it, but when you're close to Cincinnati and Indianapolis and Louisville's got, they're not with those cities, but, got some nice ones of their own. It's just kind of hard to really just put yourself out there to go somewhere else, unless you go to like Seattle or somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the OG of the old craft beer scene, I think.
Yeah, you think of like Seattle, you think of like Portland, you think of Denver. Because we were actually thinking about going to Denver possibly this year as a possible place to go, because we're probably going to go somewhere for weekend. Like, it's almost like now I'm kind of spoiled. Like, I want to go out of the country. It's like one of the all-inclusive spots. I'm thinking about going to Caribbean or something again this year, but going to spots like Denver would be cool.
What about Las Vegas?
We talked actually about going to Vegas. I've been to Vegas about 5 or 6 times. She's never been, so we were talking about doing that to go to Vegas. Vegas has some fun stuff, but I never really went to like explore some of the craft beer type stuff down there, though. But they do.
I don't know if they have a lot of. Do they have a lot of craft beers?
They have some Dickie's beer reviews. Dickie's down there in Vegas, so he gets a lot of craft beer coming through.
Okay.
And that's a nice little fun town. I mean, I've been to New Orleans before, and that's got some stuff around that area, of course. But I'd like to find somewhere like, I don't know, like going to San Diego would be cool.
San Diego, yeah, that'd be great.
Or even up to San Francisco. I've been to San Francisco since the 80s, but that'd be a cool place to go because they got some good stuff with breweries in Northern California.
Yeah, same for me for San Diego. It was in the late 80s. I was out there. Love to go back again.
But Chicago is awesome for the breweries and stuff there. And just not just even the beer, like the places, the beer and the food. Like, Eric, if you go, like, there's one of the places you go to called Miller's Pub downtown Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and freaking like they get like some of the best craft beers from the city there on tap, and the food is just crazy. I mean, it's just like you're going to leave fat. I'm just going to say because like Chicago people don't know how to eat anything in small portions, but the food is actually pretty
Yeah.
tasty too.
Yeah, it is.
I guess it's all getting all the girths ready for the winter time up there, but so some really good food and stuff there. But it's a cool classic little spot, and they pack in people that come there to eat and stuff. But it's got the old like 1950s type vibes, so like old pictures, like the old gangster type stuff and different things all in there, and architecture's pretty cool, and there all the bartenders are pretty knowledgeable and they know the beers and all that kind of stuff. So. But,
Eric, how far are you from Chicago, Eric?
About 3.5, 4 hours, depending on traffic.
Well, that's not
Okay,
bad at
that's
all.
not too bad. No.
But it gets kind of the place that gets sketchy is Gary, Indiana.
Hey, kinda.
Yeah.
There's no kinda about it.
Well, I'm talking traffic. I know the city's sketchy, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we passed Gary when we drove to Chicago last time. So yeah.
Yep.
But it's home to the Jackson 5, so.
Yeah.
Michael, why didn't you improve the city over there, brother? Come on.
Kind of weird because when we drove by, you would think they would have had something like a sign there, like home of the Jackson 5. There's nothing really there. Like when you drive through part of Kentucky here, like from where I'm at, if I'm going down towards the West Virginia border, you have to go through Maysville, and down there they got a sign home of, Miss Universe was like 2008 or 2009 when Kentucky won it. It's like, yeah, you would think you'd have props for stuff down there, but just never saw anything for the Jacksons. So, of course, around here I've never seen anything from some of the spots where George Clooney and Johnny Depp were from Kentucky as well. So, I haven't seen any of their stuff either. So, I don't know. Maybe you got to pay the right person.
They do a few like montages in Louisville for some of the hometown people, like kind of like big picture billboards on the sides of the buildings.
Yeah,
take like Jennifer Lawrence and some of the big name people that's from Louisville.
Yeah.
Well, Tom Cruise is from Louisville, but he's not actually known to be from Louisville.
Yeah, I didn't know he was from Louisville though.
I don't know if he was born here, but he lived here when he was younger.
Yeah. And then I see here, TQ says breweries I would have recommended besides the Holy Mountain, obviously Fremont and Cloudburst, but I love Pine Box, which is a bar. So Chicago, yeah, you have Rev, Half Acre, Beguile. Rev and Half Acre I'm familiar with. I haven't had the Beguile. Head coach says he grew up in San Diego, amazing breweries. Sadly, he moved away. TQ says, but the beers are best. Mac Room is my all-time fave. Hop Leaf is legendary, and the food is amazing. Eclipse says, at large, Whitewall, and local option if you like metal is what TQ said. Going back to Chicago, out of country, yes, Europe, son. Vegas, tacos and beers, awesome spot. So, which I thought about going out of the country because obviously Belgium is one of the places I wouldn't mind going to. Amsterdam is another place that I actually debated for a little bit, thinking that might be the spot for me to go over there. Germany, Ireland, kind of some key spots to go, obviously with the beer stuff. So I know you had a blast when you went over to England last year, Eric. So
yeah, and shout out to Harry at Blue Nose Beer Reviews, dude. I am forever indebted to him for getting me that beer so I could bring it back and do the review.
That was the Fuller's one, right? One of the Fullers he got you? Or?
Yeah, the Fuller's Brewers Reserve number 5. That was awesome. That was really good.
Yeah, so that was a nice little thing. So yeah, Harry's a good guy. You can check him out on Blue Nose Reviews.
I think it's Blue Nose Beer Reviews.
Blue Nose Beer Reviews.
But he's kind of I don't know if I think he's kind of shifted towards his brewery now because he's starting to get an upstart of a brewery right now. I haven't checked out his channel in a while, so
right.
I don't even know if he's even still doing videos or not.
Yeah. Hey Tim, thanks for swinging by. Tim's gonna head out, so it's good to get up early in the morning. here's Tim, and make sure you guys can check out Tim's Brew. Tim does some different stuff there as well on his channel, and give him a shout as well. And then Lee Russell says, hard to go with Fullers. Hard to go wrong with Fullers, which I agree too. Yeah.
Can everyone get like the different vintages of the Fuller's Ale?
Get them here?
Because I've seen them back as far as 2012. You can still purchase them and readily available here.
I haven't looked for any of the Fullers at my store. I know I've seen it at times. I just haven't looked deeply into it, but I bet I probably could.
I'm just wondering if it's readily available anywhere else like it is here.
Were you gonna say something?
No, I was gonna say, I haven't actually looked for it either, so I don't really know.
Yeah. Yeah, I come across their beer. I like having it on tap. Like we have a lot of pub type restaurants where they get it on tap, and those are always good to enjoy as well there. But
I haven't had much past their. I haven't had much past their the vintage series.
Yeah. Now Lee says he gets it. All we get anymore is the vintage every year where he lives. So Lee's up in Canada for those that don't know. So where he's at, they get the vintage every year. Foamy Head, welcome. He's in his name, best beer town in the world according to this article. So he had an article where Austin was named the best one. There was a new list that came out, and Cincinnati was like number 2 on the list for best beers, new beer cities or something as well.
Wow.
Yeah. You tell me we get a lot of the stuff happening here. I'm not opposed to more beer. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm just saying.
That link that he said Tokyo, Japan is number 8.
Yeah. Well, funny thing about Japan, and actually Tokyo, for a while, that was the number 1 city in the world for bourbon. Which is amazing, because people would think it would be here in Kentucky where I'm at, but they have so many people that love bourbon over there. They were the number 1. Well, that's right. I think it was not number 1 maybe for bourbon, but they were number 1 place for bourbon under one roof. And then recently, the last couple of years, we had a bar open up here in Newport, which became number 1 because we have like, I think 500 or 600 different bourbons under the roof or whatever you can get. Whatever the number is, it's crazy. But it was just weird when it was happening. Like people were like, "What do you mean Tokyo's number 1?" You know, people in Kentucky were like, "How are we not number 1 for the most bourbons you can get?" So,
how dare you?
We said we got some work to do. We're going to take it back.
I want to kind of divulge into the sake kind of genre of beer reviewing, kind of that sort of thing. But I've been too kind of chicken to go there, I'll admit.
Have you had sake before?
I have not.
Sake is pretty good. I mean, it's like sake is really more of a wine, like a warm wine, but people do sake bombs with them when they drop it in the beer too and do a chug. Like you do like a carb bomb and stuff. But yeah, sake will get you messed up.
I've seen some of them.
It will.
Damn.
It will.
If people look at it like, oh, they're putting it in like the little cup there, you know, how much can it really be? But you drink enough of those little cups. It's like Cuban coffee, you know. It's in a small cup, but it'll catch up to you.
Eric, your first sake video should definitely be a chug.
Oh, God, no, Todd.
Drop it in and chug it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Holly's happy hours in the house. Welcome, Holly. Dropping in for
Holly, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a while.
Glad to see your channel again, back up and going. And y'all should check out Holly's happy hour. Hit those dots so you can check out her channel. But she is back doing some more different videos, enjoying some of the beverages. So make sure you say hi to her as well. But it's great that you swung by. And she's actually out in Southern California. So she's having a blast out there getting some of the good beers and some of the things out there as well.
California love.
And it's night, guys. Very interesting conversation as always here. So night, Steven. He's checking out with Eclipse Brewing, but make sure you check out his channel too. Steven does a lot, especially if you're homebrew. He does home brewing, so he has a lot of good stuff that he shares on there and shows some pretty good things. Makes some pretty good beers. Now that I know, because I've had a couple, they're pretty solid. I'm just gonna say they're pretty solid. So make sure you check him out too. Eric Gilbert says the LCBO carries most Fullers. The vintage goes quick, so you would need to find a trade or buy from someone cellaring. So the LCBO, that is Canadian Exchange. It's not a wrestling team. That's where they buy their beer in Canada. Familiar with it?
So I pulled up Fuller's on my local bottle shop here, and they carry four of them right now. The ESB, the London Porter, the Vintage Ale 2014, and the London Pride.
Yeah, London Pride.
London Pride's pretty common around here. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the four that local here.
Holly says sake will kick your ass.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
Takes no prisoners.
Yeah. Well, that'd be like tequila. Tequila definitely takes no prisoners. Yeah. But somebody had told me they were drinking during New Year's, and then their roommates and stuff started getting sick. Like, what were you guys drinking? And they were drinking this and this, and then someone broke out to tequila. Like, you cannot bring tequila in when you have other alcohol in your body.
Yeah.
It's like tequila is like the Jehovah's Witness of liquors. Like, don't answer the door when they come knocking.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just look away.
Just look away. Don't let them into the party because everything goes crazy. Tequila does not party well with others.
Yeah, no, it definitely does not.
If you're going to do if you do tequila, you have to stay with tequila that whole night. You can't do anything else.
Yeah, it doesn't play well with others for sure.
Tequila is like the separatist liquor.
This is my party. If you bring somebody else to it, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, that's just how tequila rolls. Tequila rolls that way.
It's the cartel back in there.
Just see tequila rolls up in a lowrider.
There you go. Oh my friend. Drive a low rider.
Starts asking you questions like, "Where are you from?" From these parts.
There ain't nothing wrong with a low rider. There ain't nothing wrong with
your business.
Pour gin or vodka. They don't know. They're just there, like we're just hanging out. Like, no, you're on the wrong side.
Yeah.
It's just like run now. So Heineken created a zero alcohol beer that's only 69 calories. So why would you drink a 0-calorie beer and you're still going to get the zero alcohol beer and still get the calories for it? You might as well drink alcohol.
Bud 55. You might as well drink that.
Well, that's, alcohol.
That's what,
too, right?
1.5. It has alcohol, 1.5%, but it's 55 calories.
Is that what the ABV?
It's there.
1.5%?
Maybe it's like 2. I don't know. It's some.
Oh, I don't know what it is. I was just curious.
Ridiculously low. I've been trying to look for it because I'm like, dude, I got to find a review of Miller 64 and Bud 55.
Yeah. Well, I joke about the Heineken, but really, if you're the designated driver, I guess you would drink. I mean, it says it's supposed to taste just like the real thing. So if you kind of want to have like that taste of beer, you can do that without the alcohol.
Or you can start out with 1 or 2 and then switch over to that.
Yeah, of course. Then you have to question. That's your real taste of beer. Now, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, this is better.
My girlfriend, she doesn't drink, but she goes, I want to.
Oh, you dropped the G word out there, son?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, dropping the G word.
Congrats, bro.
So she says, I don't drink, and I'm like, well, that's fine. She goes, well, I want to try O'Doul's, and I go, well, you're probably going to want to try the amber other than the lager. So we grabbed a 6-pack of the O'Doul's Amber, which I'd done a review on it, which I like quite a bit. I mean, it tastes like an amber ale, but just doesn't have the alcohol. And she's like, this is actually pretty good. And I was quite surprised because she had gastric bypass and all that stuff happens with drinking and all that, how it passes into your system much faster than it would normally. So she's like, man, this is pretty good. So we're going to start drinking O'Doul's Amber, I guess. So
hey, do what you got to do.
Exactly. Like the taste of it, yeah, why not, right?
Because if mama's not happy, nobody's happy.
That's right.
We're believe that. Let's see here, and It says Holly and HC were exchanging some stuff there because um, head coach grew up not too far from where Holly's at and everything. And Jamaica girl, hey, what's happening for swinging by? Want to say hello and have a great day, you too. And Jamaica girls, if you're a woman that's looking for fashion and good deals, you can check out her channel because she always does her deal of the day on some of the outfits she wears. You think Rajay deals or something? Let me tell you, if you're a
No
woman
way.
looking for clothing deals, Jamaica Girl locks it down on some of the stuff she puts together and can save you some bucks as well. So check out her channel
That's
too.
saying a lot.
Yeah. I mean, she works it. She works it. So, um, uh, Holly says her husband grows a cape when he has tequila. Tequila will give you powers. It will give you powers.
Run through walls.
Yeah. She said in July went to the Ballast Point Scripps Ranch, so I bet that was pretty cool. Head coach says all of his men do. Talking about the tequila. Holly said you need to see Ballast Point on Miramar. It is awesome. And head coach cheers to Jamaica Girl. Shannon's in the house. Oh, girlfriend. They got the happy faces out there. Holly says hi, Jamaica Girl, and hi to Shannon and stuff. So the ladies are bonding, Definitely appreciate that. Trying to get some of the female bonding and stuff like that on the channel, get more of the women involved too, Then hey coach, he was responding to her saying it's just across the 15, which is the highway. Eric Gilbert says hammer the old duels. So Eric says he'll do a chug. Oh, and then Shannon says something back to Todd, and calls Todd the moody one.
Of course.
Yeah, so some pretty good stuff there. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so, and I was going to ask, so they had a thing on this as well. So for anybody that was out there, which obviously I'm not partaking, and Todd's not partaking, and Eric's not partaking, but has anybody thought about or done like the dry January? Because the dry January is something kind of popular now that people are doing. Apparently in Europe it's a lot bigger than it is here, but you take January off, kind of detox your body. So I don't know if you guys know anybody that's also doing the dry January, anybody you spoke to, or
I'd be willing to do a dry February.
Yeah. Well, poorly reviewed
28
beers, he
days.
does that, yeah. Except leap year, you're 29, get an extra day in there.
True.
But yeah, it's like a new thing that people are doing now.
It's kind of no shave November to the extreme.
Yeah. Speaking of extremes, just to get off to a side topic, the Bird Box challenge, people need to stop. You all need to stop out there. If you're thinking about doing it,
what?
Just stop. The Bird Box on Netflix.
Oh,
that's.
I thought you said the beer box. I was like, beer box? What the hell's a beer box?
That's a here's your sign moment if you've ever seen one.
Y'all need to cut that.
Hey, Rod, what did I say? We'll all live longer for not doing
it. Y'all just need to quit trying to drive around blindfolded, trying to walk down steps blindfolded, walking out in the middle of the street. I mean, all this stuff is stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Don't get caught up thinking this is a cool thing. That it's like this is worse than actually than getting out of the car and dancing next to the car, which was another stupid thing. It's like common sense is just like for some of these people, it's like, what are you doing? It's just one of the dumbest things, But I know we need Darwin Award candidates every year, but just don't even think about doing it, right? So, and if you don't know what the Bird Box Challenge is, you can definitely find some of the stuff online and see people doing some stupid things. Which I did finally watch that movie last weekend. So, interesting premise.
As Forrest would say, stupid is, stupid does.
Right. It's like, oh man, education is such a terrible thing to waste.
What did you think about the movie there, Rod? Did you like it?
Well, I won't spoil for people that didn't really see it or that. I thought it wasn't as bad as some of the people that didn't like it, but I didn't think it was as good as what people that did like it. I thought it was okay.
Yeah,
I think there was plot holes. I think one of the characters needs to stop finding himself in these crazy type movies. You probably know what I'm talking about from Get Out. It's like
Yeah.
now you're in this, like, but he's always the one that makes the most sense in the movie when he's talking. So, but I actually didn't know John Malkovich was in it. I actually liked his character, maybe because I grew up in New Jersey and I'm a dick sometimes, but I thought his character was actually pretty good in the movie.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
He's good though. He's usually pretty good what he
Oh
plays.
yeah. But the cast was good and everything, and it just had some parts that was like that doesn't make sense, and why would you do that or why would you do this? And then there was something key in it that I thought they didn't really address or explain. I wish they kind of would have talked about, but they didn't really get to that. So it was all right though. I mean, to sit there and watch it as a movie, I didn't go out. I mean, I pay for a subscription for Netflix, but it's not like we went out and paid $40 at the movies to watch it. Which then it would have been like, really, we paid for this? But overall, I thought it was decent enough. What did you think?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's worth. You're not gonna be completely just like, oh, that just sucks if you watch it, kind of thing. But like you said, it's not the best movie in the world, but it's definitely seen far worse.
Yeah, I did
I think
find
it keeps your interest just long enough to keep you interested in the movie. I think.
yeah, yeah. I did finally start watching Luke Cage. Well, I watched the first episode finally, so I'm trying to get that out because Punisher's back like next weekend. So I
Now,
will
have you
probably.
heard Have you heard anything about Netflix dropping all their like superhero series?
Well, Netflix is Marvel's going to Disney. Disney bought the rights to them,
Okay.
so Netflix. It looked like they were going to hold a couple of them, but then actually it fell apart. Kind of, I think the last Marvel thing that Netflix will actually get will be Captain Marvel after it comes out of the theaters.
Okay.
So they canceled Daredevil after the last season. They canceled Jessica Jones after the last season. Luke Cage after this last season. Iron Fist. They haven't said anything on Punisher as of yet, but I'm hoping that maybe they're canceling them, and then Disney will pick them up. But you have to get the Disney streaming service to actually get to see those at that point. But they
Yeah.
may pick them up over there. I can't see a Disney streaming service picking up the Punisher. I mean, because of the violent context of it, but we'll see what happens. And then let's see here.
Roger
Shannon
just
had
ruined Shannon's night
why?
because she just heard you say they canceled Jessica Jones. She's not going. They canceled Jessica Jones.
I didn't know she did. No, I mean it's only been like 6 months or something, which I still got to watch the last season. I haven't watched it yet. Um, Shannon actually just subbed to Holly's channel. Can't wait to check out the video. So there you go, very nice. And Holly says she's near L. Smith, Pure Project, McKellar, Duckfoot, White Labs. Not bad.
It's
Not
up to
a
my
bad
channel
spot
and
to
Rick's
be.
channel. Sorry.
Go ahead.
It's like it's up to my channel and the Rod's channel.
Did Shannon sub to my channel? I don't think she did. Shannon.
Shannon, you're on deck. Shannon.
She said she did a long time ago.
Okay, maybe she did then. All right. Well, sub to Eric's channel.
He said sub to Eric's channel then.
What's Eric's channel's name?
Eric, a Lions fan.
Does Joe have a channel?
Yeah.
What's his channel?
Beer Patrol.
All right, I'll go sub right now.
And
Thank you, Shannon.
Eric said thank you.
No problem.
Let's see
No,
here.
you can watch his videos.
All right. Yeah.
God, microphone's really good on this thing.
It is really good, yeah. Head coach said the L. Smith Gwynn edition is awesome. And then Eric Gilbert, be more realized that Eric Lions fan. Do it when the Lions just missed the wild card by the last game of the year. And then head coach, I'll subscribe to your channel. So head coach is subscribing out there. And Holly said, thanks, Shannon. Love to make new friends for happy hour. Holly said, yes, coach. I love the Gwynn Jr. IPA. So good. We're going there tomorrow night. Lee Russell, it says, I see the people who do the bird box. I say these people who do the bird box thing should be at least to at least eat a top pot or two before they do it. So, well, I think it's maybe millennials doing the bird box, but I think it's the Generation Z eating the Tide Pod. So, different generations that are involved there, maybe.
Not the Tide Pods again.
The head coach is pretty pumped that they make a Gwen Junior IPA. He's excited to try that one. And then Holly said, yeah, good family. They do a 5K every year with L. Smith. Nice event. And Holly, I think it was, I forgot which beer festival you did last year. It might have been the one. It wasn't with L. Smith. I think it was with a different one out there. I think it might have been Ballast Point, maybe. I can't remember, but Holly took advantage of those as well. So from the beer, I think that might have been Holly's first one that she did last year with that beer fest, if I remember correctly. But beer fests are always fun. So, let me see here. What the hell? Trudeau, Canada, stop starting stuff up there. Says Trudeau rebuffs voter who offered a beer to shove Trump from cliff. That's not very nice. It's on Bloomberg. It came out like 20 hours ago. Hey, Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Here's something. We were talking earlier about some of the labeling and stuff like that from the shutdown. Well, down in Atlanta, they're actually giving free beer for furloughed workers by Sweetwater Brewing. They're asking people that are affected to let them know, and I guess they're maybe giving them a free 6-pack or something like that and everything this weekend to show support behind them or whatever. So that's kind of nice of a brewery to do that, to get involved that way. It kind of sucks they'll be home, but hey. Let's see here. See what other news is out here.
Eric Gilbert wants Malt Liquor Monday to come back.
Well, that's your channel, son. That's right up your alley.
I know. I got
Monday, fool.
The problem with malt liquor is that it's kind of limited after a point, right? Like there's not as much malt liquor being made now.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Alex. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Eric, you should do a 4 Loco Monday.
Oh, you're funny. You couldn't even finish your can sitting there. Should have put a nipple on it.
Right? I said,
hey, Todd, I could do a 4 Loco series.
Do it. Do it.
Todd couldn't even finish his.
Nobody asked you, Rod.
and head coach said, like Nancy Reagan said, just say no about doing the malt liquor. Oh, and Holly said it was modern times. She was a pourer, which means sober, so she didn't get to partake. Yeah, because I think with the one Holly was that they couldn't drink at that one, which isn't always the best thing, but the ones here depends on how it's set up. If you take money, you can't drink, but if it's something where they have tickets, you can drink at the ones. Ali Gas, they make pretty good beers. They got their white cans coming back in February for one of their brews. So I've had some Ali Gas brews in the past. Been pretty pleased with them. Can marijuana stop beer sales from falling? Interesting. A lot of people read about marijuana early in 2019. The Mary Jane, as they call it.
Last chance of Mary Jane.
So here's one. Like Joe, I think Joe, did he send us one from Springfield Brewery before?
I don't know if he did or not.
I thought we had one for Springfield, but that was a piece. This again talks about the shutdown. It said government shutdown impacts Springfield Brewery's production, and maybe I'm thinking of a different one he said, but I thought it was Springfield. Maybe it was Springdale or something. Anyway, a lot of articles are coming up on the government shutdown stuff. Let's see here. That's a lot of the beer news. I'm actually going back into stuff here Now looking at last week on things, so
I don't think there was much beer news this week, was there?
not too much. I mean, you started having a release. Anybody that's on the Facebook page that I do, I've been trying to get that out there on some stuff, but a lot of breweries were putting out their 2019 calendars over the last week. That's kind of slowed down a little bit. I don't know if that's because they're waiting to see what's going to happen with stuff or what, but they were putting their 2019 release calendars out for the beers that are about to hit the markets for this year. But outside of that, not too much else happening. So that's a good amount of beer news anyway. But yeah, so probably get another Stella here a bit, but it's actually going down rather easily. But it's Stella, so that's what she does.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little Stella Artois.
Yeah. You guys got any predictions for 2019 for beer?
I would like to see, instead of bourbon barrels, maybe kind of going off on maybe do more rum, more brandy, maybe gin, that sort of thing, kind of going off in the different types of spirits and kind of aging it in barrels and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, it may turn out great, and then it may turn out to be a flounder, but you don't know until you try.
Yeah. What about you, Todd?
Nah, I kind of see the brewed IPA kind of being the big thing coming up this year. I think. I mean, a lot of people's already started, but it seems like it's catching on more and more with other breweries now. It seems.
Yeah.
I've yet to even try one yet, so I don't even know.
Yeah.
How good they are.
Holly says she did a 4 local video. And I did see her 4 local video. It didn't go as well, but yeah. And then head coach responded, "Really, I may need to unsubscribe." Although Eric is intrigued, he wants to see the video. So yeah. Todd said on purpose, Holly. So
Yeah, on purpose.
yeah, she never had one, and it was truly awful. Yeah, it's just not much.
Pretty much sums it up.
Yeah. But if you had a, say a gun to your head, would you rather do a 4 Loco or do the Mad Dog 2020?
Mad Dog 2020.
Mad Dog 2020, I think. Probably not even close.
Yeah. Hands down over the 4 Loco. Don't give me that Mad Dog. I'll hate myself tomorrow, but I'll take that instead, please. Yeah. Oh man, the stuff that we actually drank.
If those are the only 2 choices, I'd be like, I think I'm quitting drinking today. Starting right now. I'm not drinking anymore.
Yeah, there's not really any good reason at all for them to actually make Mad Dog 2020, but they did anyway.
Beer reviews in the house.
Hey, welcome, Craig.
What's up, Craig?
He's up early now because he's 5 hours ahead of us. Well, he didn't go to bed yet, probably. So
I was like, up early or up late?
So over there it'll be 4 o'clock right now. So
man,
he might be up late. He might still be drinking. He might be just laying in bed now after be drinking all night. But like I'm like
a midday job.
Yeah. Well, he does his home stuff, but he's like a super night out. Like I'm a night owl, but he'll like go to bed like at 4 or 5 sometimes. Like he's been on with us, and he's up when the sun comes up. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to sleep now." I was like, "I could not sleep with the sun coming up. Like I have to keep my room as dark as it is, so I can't take any light coming in."
Yeah.
So can't imagine. But he's home late, so he's been out having a little bit of fun out tonight. So
hopefully you took a taxi if you've been drinking.
Yeah. Don't be out there driving drunk now. Get home safely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like for this year, for 2019, I think you'll have, like we talked about earlier, like you mentioned, Tom, like we'll have some more of the brute, like Trish brought up earlier, but I'm thinking they haven't really pushed yet for something like a sour type IPA. And I'm kind of interested with the push they're getting on sours. It seems like that might be something they may try to cross over at some point to see if they can kind of pull that off. if you have like an IP. I don't know if you can pull it off, but it wouldn't be surprising to see something along those lines.
I can see that.
Last year I did the tea beer for the first time, and that actually was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So for people that are gluten free, the tea beer provides a nice option. I'd be surprised and I see more people look at that type of option to try to brew. I think this year, with the success New Belgium had with the Emperor and some of the other ones out there, even if they don't do the THC in certain states, I think the hemp beer can be a play as well because like it'll be the next thing down from being the actual THC infused. Um, Obviously, in places where you do have it approved now, there'll be the THC. There's some that are trying to do the THC beer as well. So I think those will actually come into play too. I think that more of that merger out of Canada, especially, I think you'll see more of the THC type infused stuff. So that'll be kind of interesting to come into play because even you got like Coors of them talking about it now because they've seen their beers take a hit that they may be an opportunity for them to actually rebound by being one of the first major ones in that area with THC. So I think you're going to see some of that jumping around. And I know like when I was at Lagunitas, they have it in California, like I said, their THC water, they can keep it on the shelves. But I know Canada was a possible target they might take a look at as well because they can now do with Canada across the country with them passing the stuff there. So I think those stuff will come into play. I would like to see, and I think it may happen. You'll see more craft breweries starting to go into the lager area. I think you'll start seeing more craft lagers here. I think there's a clamoring that some people are getting a little burnt out on the IPA stuff. So I think they're going to have some things to come out with more for the lagers because the way it's been kind of like, oh, you're a lager fan. Well, drink this blonde ale or drink this, golden ale. Or like, I think people want to have that nice crisp lager type thing, rather than trying to get one of the ale crossovers. So I think you'll have some breweries that'll try to expand into that area a little bit more to give some more palatable offers along those lines. So it'll be interesting to see what all takes place there.
Yeah, I could see that kind of going more to the old school type style of beer, maybe.
Yeah. And let me see here. Holly, I think Holly's going to sign off. So appreciate you, Holly, for coming out tonight. So thank you very much there.
Take it easy, Holly.
She had mentioned she had actually tasted a red wine barrel aged beer at L. Smith, and it was terrific. Yeah, so you have some of the wine barrel taking place, and I've had a few of the wine barrel. Eric, you mentioned gin.
Yeah.
The beer I got a couple years ago now from Adelbert's Brewing out of Texas. They had a really good gin barreled beer, and it was a Belgian style ale that was barreled in a gin barrel. So that one was really good, and I haven't seen many other people doing it gin barrels, but that would be a great one to actually try. We know how good the brandy one is, being able to do stuff along those lines. But you're seeing more of the wine. The video I just released, that's about 2-3 weeks ago, whatever, the Dogfish Head, the red and white, when I did that video, that was when they used like wine barrels for it. So you're seeing different breweries come up with the different ways to kind of cross over. See some more of the comments here. Hey, Coach, says 2019, we'll see a lot of small breweries closing or selling out to semi-small breweries. I don't know how many will actually fall off or close out, but I do see in 2018, I saw some, I do see in 2019 where it may happen more, where you'll have small breweries actually merge themselves together to form kind of mini type groups. We saw it like with Victory and with Southern Tier. Rather than being bought out by one of the major companies, those two were able to pull their own assets together to make a group that represents both of them. So I think you may see maybe emergent of smaller type ones before they have to, if they want to sell it. And let's face it, if you're making good beer and a company comes along and they offer you like a big check and they want to have you as, a brewery under them, you can't really fault the brewery that much for actually going ahead and doing that, especially if they get kind of left alone. People were knocking Lagunitas for years over the Heineken. It's like, it's not even Heineken American, it's Heineken Europe, and it's only a balance sheet play. They're not even touched by Heineken. They still make the things they were making before. Nothing's changed with them. So they're still pretty solid as a brewery. And you're going to have some of those out there. Now, you may have some that might, at a point, get shifted. People say that Goose Island changed. I didn't really drink Goose Island before they were under the AB and Bev umbrella, so I can't really say. But they still have some beers out there. People are still, last I checked, on Black Friday going around the country trying to find freaking Bourbon County Stout. So people can't be that mad about them. So
I was.
So the whole thing about them taking a check or something, I mean, it can happen, but it's hard to find them. I'd rather, like I said, I always try to buy like local independent kind of first up, but I have some of the other ones. I'll have a Ballast Point, I'll have a Lagunitas, I'll have a Wicked. Well, I haven't had a Wicked Week because we don't get it here, but I would have a Wicked Week. I'll have like a what's the one that does the toasted lager? The out of New York, Blue Point. They're under that umbrella. I've had them before. So if you like the beer, drink the beer. Don't worry about it along those lines. But for me, I just try for all the bigger beers on those umbrellas. Probably the money I spend on beer, I probably spend 85% on local and independent. So 15% of the time, I might have one that's not local independent. So it is what it is. Let me see here. Craig said he walked home. He's still in Portugal, Madeira Island. So I don't know how long of a walk did you take, Craig, by the way. So, which I bet you probably got some sweet weather over there. Because I don't even know if you really get like how chilly it actually gets at this time of year for you over there. But there's some really good weather, I bet. You always have some pretty cool pictures when you're shooting stuff over there. Shannon says, snobs don't knock the mad dog. Hey, HC said 2019. So we hit that one already. Holly says, sweeties have to go. 99, and thanks for hosting Rod TGIF. Yes, Holly, and we'll be checking out your channel some more too. Head coach with the Ron Burgundy. Holly, stay classy, San Diego. Trey says, don't knock any beer, you will spill it. And then cheers. And head coach says, good show, Rod Company. Thank you, sir. Hopefully you guys are entertained, have a good time. That's what we try to do. And hopefully you may pick up something along the way that might be of interest as well. Always a good time here. Love kind of having these hangouts and everything. Head coach says, it's truly about the craft like so many breweries claim that you can't sell out, but in their defense, I've never had millions in my face. Right. So you haven't had that check there before. And again, it's not always like a sellout port. I mean, if you're one of these small to mid breweries and you're doing well, and a company's going to write you a check for however many zeros to help you increase your distribution and get more area, and they said they're not going to really do anything to influence you or anything along those lines, it's a tough thing. It's kind of like you can say no and you can keep doing what you're doing, and you may struggle, you may do well, but knowing that you're able to take that and be able to move forward, not be bothered, it can be a nice situation all around as well. So someone sat across from me for the check that had the right amount of zeros on it. I'm going to look at the check and I'm going to take a second to think. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And depending, like I said, on what your situation is, where you're at, what you're looking to do, it's not all a bad situation. Like I couldn't have drank Elysian until they went to AB and Bev because they never got distribution here. So now we get them here. And, and I'll say I think Space Dust is a pretty good IPA. So I'll drink that once in a while. We have a place here that has it on draft a lot of the time. And, but before AB and Bev, like I heard about it, but I can never get it. So you got to weigh that side of the option too. But that all being said there, I mean, anything else you guys got to add? Anything you want to comment on?
Go for a good 2019 craft beer. I don't know, craft beer drinking year, I guess.
Eric's getting hit by the KBS now. The
KBS kicking
is
in.
doing some work already.
And I've still got one whole one over here yet.
Oh yeah. So you still got that going.
The problem with the Bombers.
That's the problem with the Bombers. Yes.
You say you're gonna go look. You got a bomber, and you're looking at it. And you're like, oh, I really want to drink that beer. It's kind of like,
yeah. I'm like, do I want to pour that?
I got like nobody here with me to really drink it. I mean, if I drink it, I gotta drink the whole thing.
Well, I've already opened it, and there's still a full glass right here. So
they get you a good little wine stopper. It'll be good for a night.
Really?
Does that
Do wine stoppers work for beer?
It,
I mean,
if
I
it
know
fits,
you can cap them off, but will they still be somewhat?
I think you'll
well, I
lose a
mean,
little of the carbonation. Yeah.
it'll lose a little, but you'll still get, it'd be better in drain pouring it if you're not going to finish it tonight.
Yeah,
I mean, it
exactly.
used to be the whole like growler debate, like you have to drink it all within that amount of time. But usually, you do a growler, you could drink it, you can screw it tight. If you get the cap back on tight enough, and again, it might hold it a couple days there. You wouldn't have to drink it all one night or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. But as you can tell already, I've already poured it in the glass here. So
yeah,
thinking I was going to drink it and then be like,
There's only one option from this point. Then
exactly.
that's not a drain pour. You're just going to say that's not a.
It's not going to be. I'm going to be sipping on it for the next 45 minutes to an hour here. It is what it is.
Craig says someone offers you $5 million, you take it, you safeguard your family. Yeah. So again, yeah, it's someone puts a check in front of you. You got to look at all your options, and then you're running the company too. So at a point, it's like what you're doing there, plus your employees that are working with you, if you can secure for what they're going to also receive, it makes an opportunity available. Eric Gilbert says, cheers, great live, and calling for an O'Doul's challenge.
Ooh. An O'Doul's challenge.
There you go, Eric. An O'Doul's Monday.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever done like a chug video or anything like that. I mean, I don't really chug anything. There's some of the beers, though, it's kind of like that we've drank and we've done, like we sent to each other. And it's kind of like you start drinking, like the one like Todd said, like the blackberry slushy. I had to stop myself because I could easily chug through that. Or like some of the other half beers. And when we got that Treehouse Julia's, it's like you could easily just keep going.
Yeah.
Be like Homer Simpson and just go open your mouth and just hit that tap.
Yeah, it definitely works out where you can easily knock back. But that's the good thing with some of the good beers that were taking place here, and we're actually being able to enjoy a lot of the things. Head coach said, I'm glad you said Space Dust. It's a brew I like, but it's so close to being bad. It has a typical IPA taste with almost too much fruit in it. Almost smells like a gym. Your thoughts? Well, here's the thing. Like with the IPA, and sometimes in my videos I'll say it. When you actually get that aroma, one, you're going to have the fruitiness because of the hops. So a lot of times you're going to get grapefruit. You're going to get like papaya. You're going to get mango. You're going to get tropical. You're going to get citrus. You're going to get those type of things. That's just part of that style. And if it's really fresh, you're going to get muskiness. You're going to get like that's the dankness of the hops and stuff. So yeah, when it's really fresh, it does smell like a gym. I'm not going to lie. I mean, when you think about it, first time when you really examine it and you think about it, it is like a gym where you've been like sweating and stuff. But that's part of the style. So the things that always seem to sound bad all the time, for some reason, they work well with beer, Someone says, oh, that is funky. Like in beer, that's a good thing if you're drinking like a sour or a wild ale, that beer's musky. Yeah. Well, if you're drinking IPA, that's what you expect to get. So, it's just part of that style. It's an acquired type thing. Some people don't like that smell, obviously. Some don't like the taste. It's just the way it actually it works for the beer. And head coach says, I know it sounds weird, but yeah, no, you're right on there. Craig says, sweet cheesy socks, sweetie cheesy socks. Or you imagine even sweaty cheesy socks.
Sweaty, yeah.
Yeah.
Not so, sure I'd go that far with it, but yeah, close enough there. Close enough there.
Well, it's like, when doing lagers, because of the yeast, you have the barnyard type aroma. So people don't think of barnyards always smelling good, but it kind of feels like barnyard when you're actually smelling them. So at least for me, and that's why I talk about there. And when you look at terms that people use, like how they define styles, you'll see that in there. Barnyard type aromas, which you'll pick up. So, because you always go by the imagery that you can identify with, and that works. But yeah, so I think with that being said, upcoming things, I'm actually going to get some more. I'm trying to get all the beer reviews back on track. So hopefully I'll start getting those out more because I'm backlogged like 34, 33 videos right now that I have to upload that are done. Just haven't uploaded them yet. So get those out. And I'm actually going to be bringing back the YouTuber series. So I'm actually going to work. I'm not going to say with who, but I'm actually going to work that this weekend. I may be interviewing another YouTuber and then get that uploaded so you guys can check that out as well. So, Eric was one I've done. I actually did two. I did Eric and I did Tanya. And it's a great series, and you'll be able to find out about other YouTuber channels, how they got into beer, some of the other things they like, stuff like that. So that's a fun thing to always do. So that'll be coming up soon. And then I'm going to try to do some more, because we have a lot of people that do beer reviews now with YouTube. I mean, you're always seeing like new people pop up. So still going to do the beer reviews, obviously, but I'm going to try to do some other type things like the video I did with the Kentucky Derby, just kind of giving thoughts on stuff. So that's something new that I want to bring to the channel, kind of more, I guess you could say, reaction type videos. So hopefully you guys like that and everything. So we'll get that stuff rolling. Anything you got upcoming on your channel, Eric, that you want to start getting out there?
I'm going to start getting some more Detroit Tigers videos out there. We're going to do some Lions stuff. We're going to do some Michigan State and Michigan football stuff. And I'm going to kind of wind down on the beer reviews here just a little bit, but you'll still be seeing them here on the channel. I got to do the rest of your stuff, Rod. I got to do the rest of Todd's. And then I got to do the stuff on my cellar. And then I'm just going to pick and choose as I go and maybe do them kind of how I was doing them when I first began, every Wednesday and Saturday, Wednesday night and Saturday night beer reviews.
Yeah. And Todd doesn't have a channel, so I'm not asking Todd, but Todd's always welcome to bring what he wants to bring to the channel itself. And then if there's anything that you guys that are watching that you want to see on the channel or things you have questions, I have had some people ask me about doing some more of the homebrew type stuff. I did a couple series on various hops. So I'm thinking about trying to get more of the hops videos uploaded again. So I have some of the homebrewers who like some of the stuff there. Maybe some things about yeast, some things about malts, some things, kind of pertaining more to the homebrewing type stuff, or maybe some more of the quick beer news type things. But if there's anything that you guys want to see, always feel free, leave a comment or shoot me a message on things you want to see as well. I'm always open to new ideas and trying different things and kind of bringing whatever I can to the beer world. I'm going to be trying to get some more on location stuff done. I was actually planning to go to one of the breweries this weekend, depending on how much snow we get. If I end up going out there or not to check out a new brewery. If I can get out there, I'll check some stuff out there too. But looking to hopefully bring some more stuff to make it more entertaining. So make sure you guys keep up to speed on that. And again, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, or if you get that notification, that way you're updated when I start putting some stuff out there. And I'm trying not to over inundate people as well. Like I see some channels and it'll be like 4 or 5 videos in a row, and I just think that's like too much at one point. Like I could sit here on the weekend and have like all these videos, kind of tap them out so they all hit, and I'm like, I try to do like maybe one a day. But if you think, hey, you want to see more, you always feel free to let me know, and I'll try to get some more stuff out there. But always appreciate everybody checking everything out, spending some time with us as we enjoy some beers, talk about beer, and just have a good time. So hopefully you guys liked what you saw. You hit that like button, and I'm going to turn it over to Eric here and let Eric go ahead and get ready to close us out.
All right, guys, if you guys have had too much to drink, please get a designated driver. Guys, it's stupid to drive home drunk, but if you do, you're going to get it pulled over by the cops. They're going to make you do the stupid-ass sobriety test. Then you're going to get free ride to jail. Then you have court fees and then possible prison time. And then if you hit or kill somebody, you guys know you're going to be in the slammer for a while. And if you kill yourself, all you've done is hurt your family and friends and put yourself 6 feet under, okay? Just sleep off your buzz. Get your car the next day. Get an Uber, a taxi, a Lyft. Have the bartender get your ride. Have someone call to get your ride. Just something so you're not having to drive home drunk. And you guys know it's zero tolerance out there, because you're going to get your ass in the slammer, and you're going to be on thousands upon thousands of dollars in court fees. All right, just don't do it.
Yeah. No doubt. We talk about all this stuff. We also want to make sure you guys have a good time when you're out there enjoying it. You're welcome. Head coach said I validated his thoughts on this question as well. So appreciate it. Also, messing around, so you'll probably see some different layouts that I'm screwing around with over the next few weeks. So I settle into something, let me know what you guys think. If you like seeing the comments up here on the screen and stuff like that. And up here on the top left, if you haven't been to the blog, make sure you check the blog out. Fee Spot. I they send you a little metal thing, but it's actually one of the top 200 beer blogs. They ranked it. So I put a lot of stuff out there that you guys don't see on the video channel because a lot of time they're written pieces or articles and stuff like that. So if you haven't checked that out, then that's just RajBeerVentures.com as well. And if you're on Facebook, make sure you check out the Beer Coalition, where we get together with a lot of other people and talk beer too. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. But that all being said, appreciate everybody that checked in tonight, that checked out the video and the live stream. We'll have some other good stuff for next week. I don't know. Eric's going to be out because Eric will actually be traveling. Joe may be back, depending what his schedule is like and depending what if he's out doing whatever he's doing, you know, Joe. So we'll get something put together. Appreciate you all. Keep drinking those good craft beers. And remember, there's always time. Get your beer on. Cheers, everybody.